Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Professional Raconteur. I'm your host, Dan Wickline, and this time we're going to talk about The Witcher. Now, that was a big surprise series for me. I knew nothing about the series, about the characters, about the video games, or the books. I knew nothing going in. And I gotta say, I absolutely loved this series. All I knew was that Henry Cavill makes a great Superman. And suddenly he was blonde and carrying a sword, which got my attention. So I jumped in with both feet. Now, the one thing I knew going in, and by the way, spoilers ahead. I'm definitely talking about the whole series, so there's going to be spoilers. If you don't want to spoil now, get out of here, go watch the series, come back, and you can listen to it later. Now, going into the series, one thing I did know, and as I overheard from someone else, is that not everything takes place in a single timeline. And that helped a lot, because once things started getting confusing, I realized, okay, maybe The Witcher, Geralt of Rivia, and Princess Ciri were not happening at the same time. And Yennefer may not have been happening at the same time either. And those are your three main characters. Geralt of Rivia, played by Cavill, Yennefer, and the mage, and I'm not, off the top of my head, I don't remember who's playing these characters. They're tougher names for me. Cavill's the only one that stays out, but you can look them up, or I'll put them in the credits below, or in the comments below. But Yennefer, and then Ciri, and once I realized those were different timelines, it made a lot more sense. Following Geralt, there we go. Geralt, and of course Jaskier when he joins it. That's a lot of fun, and that's kind of a Monster of the Week thing going on, which was highly enjoyable. The monsters weren't your typical monsters, and Jaskier made it a lot of fun because he was offsetting the real dour lone gunman type feel that we got from Cavill with Geralt. And they made an interesting pair, a really enjoyable pair. And you could see them actually building a friendship, which was really neat. And, the three of them, Geralt, Jaskier, and Roach, the horse. There's a whole video out there about why he calls his horse Roach, which I found much more interesting than I thought I would. But it all has to do with Polish translations. It's also why in the video game, Jaskier is called Dandelion, because when you translate the word Jaskier is basically a yellow flower. And the closest word we had in English was the name for the yellow flower, dandelion. So they just gave him the name Dandelion. So that's why in the TV series he's got his name from the books, while in the video game he's called Dandelion. I prefer Jaskier, honestly enough. I really enjoyed the world building that it did in the series. The fact that The Witcher is a unique type of character. He feels a little bit like a paladin and almost like an eldritch knight from D&D, if you're familiar with the D&D system. He's got a little bit of magic to him. He's an amazing sword fighter, but his specialty is monster hunting, and that's unique. And I really like that, and there's a good chance the next time I play D&D, I get to make a new character. I will be making an Eldritch Knight that's going to, in my mind, be Geralt. And, but I like that. I like the magic world they build. Following Yennefer, the fact she starts off as a hunchback with some deformities, and the sacrifices she makes, her connection to magic, chaos magic, and her growth arc, which is not in the books from what I understand. It's unique to the series, TV series. Some of the early things with Ciri are also unique to the TV series. The strangest thing to me was Dewey, whatever his name is, the hedgehog guy. Because that just seems so out of left field. You have all these very realistic looking people, and suddenly there's a guy who looks like a hedgehog. I get that he's cursed, but that just seems weird to me. And that's probably the one moment that took me out of it for a minute, but I quickly got back in. Which leads us to one of my favorite things in the whole series, the law of surprise. That is just awesome. I love the idea that someone saves your life, you have nothing to give them, so they ask for the law of surprise. And basically when you go home, whatever is waiting for you, whatever surprise is waiting for you, is then given to the person that saved you. If it's somebody bought a puppy, well, turns out you got to give the puppy to the person who saved your life. If you have a bumper crop suddenly, well, the proceeds get to go to the guy that saved your life. And if you come home and find out your wife has given birth unbeknownst or is pregnant, baby goes to the person that saved your life. That is a pretty interesting thing. It felt a little like Rumpelstiltskin in a sense, and I'm good with that. That worked out really well, and I think that the law of surprise became so important to the series, and it's the driving force of everything. That and the idea of wanting a child, which is kind of interesting. That this is basically, you've had the two main characters of Geralt and Yennefer, who desperately want a family. Geralt, I don't think, Geralt doesn't think he wants one. Yennefer does, but it becomes about being a parent. And I just finished reviewing and watching The Mandalorian, which is all about him becoming a parent. So there's a theme going on here, which I thought was kind of interesting. But I love that connection and the fact that destiny brings all three of them together. And we don't even get all three of them together at the end. We get two of them together. Yennefer and Geralt keep coming back together, and it has to do with his wish. We don't know what the wish is. We get an idea of what the wish is, but we don't know what it actually is. And I have a feeling the specific words will end up being important. And Yennefer, that's an interesting combination. Now, there's a lot of backlash from fans of the video games. I don't know about from the book, but from the video games, there's a big backlash having to do with another mage named Triss, who in the video games has bright red hair, freckled face, is pretty much straightforward Caucasian white, and there is a big romance between her and Geralt. I'm going to get that name right eventually. Which is not played up very much in this series. If you're not sure who Triss is, because she's not that big of a character, she's the mage that gets him to try to help the king's daughter, who has been turned into a monster, the Stragabolt or something. Again, these are rough names, but great series. So she is in the series. The actress does have reddish hair, but it's dark. It's more brown than red, and she does have freckles. So I didn't have a problem with her, but I know that's a big to do with the video game people. Not so much with the book people. I haven't read the books. I have it queued up on my Audible to listen to next. I'm finishing the Brandon Sanderson Mistborn series right now, the second set. As soon as I'm done with that, I'm going to listen to some of these Witcher books and see how they are. But I really like the relationships that are at play here. I like the relationship between the king and the queen. There's kind of a neat flirtmance going on there, and then he steps up and stands with her when Dunny, whatever the hedgehog's name is, takes her daughter's hand in marriage. I really like the relationship with The Witcher and Yennefer, and The Witcher and Jaskier. I kind of like the relationship between Ciri and the elf. I'm not sure if that's going to continue. He's a made-up character not in the books or the video games, so it'll be interesting to see if he sticks around. I have a feeling there's a lot more to some of these characters than we know from the beginning. Some of the mages who seem like they might be good could end up bad. Some that seem like they're bad could end up good. It's going to be interesting. Even the big bad in this series, in this season, with the guy with the bird helmet. In the video games, he's not the big bad. So it'll be interesting to see if he flips or if they make it a little more streamlined in the series. I love the fight scenes. I love the monsters, and I love the fast pace. I enjoyed it, and I like the songs. I mean, yeah, I think just about everybody I know who watched the series has the Toss a Coin song stuck in their head, which is a catchy song. So I'm really enjoying that. I look forward to this next season. I know they've already approved season 2, but it's going to be probably a year or more before we get it. It may even be 2021 before we get it. So hang on, it's going to be a while. Occasionally rewatch the series. You'll probably enjoy it. Maybe a good time to dive into the books. If you are on Steam, the 3 video games are on sale. The first one alone was $1.49. I picked up a bundle of all 3 games for $14.95. Now, I don't make any money off of Steam or this deal. I'm just telling you people because I thought it was a good deal and I bought it. So if you're looking to get into the game, I've played some of the first one so far, and it's pretty good fighting game. The graphics of the first one are dated from 2009. The third one has the best video graphics and stuff. There's nudity in it, just like there's nudity in the TV series. So if you're offended by nudity, this may not be the series, TV, or video game for you. If you aren't offended by nudity, jump on in. There's boobs a lot. Otherwise, I think this is really good. I think DC would be a fool not to let Cavill continue as Superman. This shows that he's got far more range than they've even played with yet. They really need to sit down and make a good Superman movie with him. Stop trying to do the Justice League. Do a solo. They did a solo Wonder Woman. They did a solo Aquaman. Just do a good solo Superman that doesn't set up everything. And stop trying to make him what he's not. Just make him about hope. Make him about the best of what mankind can be. Anyway, now I'm getting off topic. The Witcher's a lot of fun. If you haven't watched it yet, I recommend doing it. But then if you haven't watched it yet, why are you listening to this video? Can't wait for season 2. I'm going to dive into the books. And later this week, I will be back doing a video talking about the best TV shows of the season or the year. When you look at it, it includes The Witcher and The Mandalorian, but also The Boys, the second season of Jack Ryan, what they're doing over at Crisis on Infinite Earths with the Arrowverse, The Watchmen. There's just been a lot of great TV this year. Titans, Doom Patrol. I mean, if you are a comic guy or a pop culture nerdy guy, this has been a great year, and I look forward to covering those, and I will be back with that. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and all those things. That'll help me promote this channel. I want to do more. If there's anything you guys would like to have me cover, my background is as a writer, so if you would like me to do videos looking more at the writing and making of these shows, I can do that. I can talk about crafting stories and stuff. You guys guide me. What would you like to see? So, thank you all. Hope you have a good New Year's, and we'll talk soon.